In 1954, in a small farmhouse in Pennsylvania, a mother of 5 was preparing breakfast. She had no gym membership, and she had likely never even heard of counting calories. Yet, her waistline was the same as it had been on her wedding day 20 years prior. She didn't view weight as a genetic struggle or a disease because she held 25 forgotten secrets passed down from her mother. Today, we spend thousands on fad diets and supplements, but she maintained her vitality using simple things from her own pantry. What did we lose in the name of progress? How did we go from being capable to being just consumers? Before we brush the dust off these ancient secrets, welcome to Forgotten American Health and Beauty. Here, we rediscover the lost wisdom that was once the strength of our ancestors. We revive the old recipes and lifestyles that were far more potent than today's artificial products. The simple habit at number 2, which Grandma valued most, is now baffling modern science. Let's dive into the 25 forgotten secrets that were once the heartbeat of every household. Number 25, the copper vessel and the first light. Before the house woke up, she would head to the kitchen and drink water from a copper vessel that had sat on the table all night. This wasn't a superstition, it was her way of sparking her metabolism. In the 1950s, every farmer's wife knew that water stilled in copper overnight ignites the body's internal fire. The cost was zero, but the effect lasted a lifetime. Number 24, the psychology of the smaller plate. In 1958, the plates on the kitchen table were 3 inches smaller than they are today. This was no accident, it was a profound psychological balance. Grandma knew that when the plate looks full, the brain signals satisfaction sooner. We grew our hunger with oversized plates, but they kept their waistlines small by simply changing the frame of their meal. Number 23, locking the kitchen with the sun. In a home in West Virginia, the stove went cold after 6 p.m. Food is eaten in the light of the sun, not in the dark. This was the unwritten law. When the body didn't have to work on digestion in the dead of night, it naturally turned fat into energy. We traded our health for midnight snacks, they bought vitality with simple timing. Number 22, the bitter greens that melt fat. Before the main meal, a small bowl of bitter greens was served. Grandma said only bitterness could kill the craving for sweets. These greens stimulated the liver and prepared the body to process the coming meal. Today we take digestive pills, back then, they took a few leaves from the garden. Number 21, the silent vow of 32 chews. At the table, there was less talk and more focus on chewing. Drink your food and eat your water. Chewing every morsel until it became liquid was their greatest secret to staying lean. When saliva is fully mixed with food, digestion begins where it's supposed to, in the mouth, rather than becoming a burden on the stomach. Number 20, an apple slice before the meal. Exactly 10 minutes before sitting down to eat, Grandma would slice an apple for everyone. Its fiber acted as a natural net in the stomach, suppressing the urge to overeat. This was the natural appetite suppressant for which people today pay hundreds in prescriptions. Number 19, hand-washed clothes and the workout. In 1956, a washing machine was a luxury, not a necessity. Scrubbing clothes by hand, kneeling to mop the floors, and carrying heavy buckets, this was their unintentional exercise. Their bodies were in constant motion, so fat never had a chance to settle. Number 18, that warm bowl of cinnamon. A stick of cinnamon in the tea instead of sugar. This wasn't just for flavor, it was a secret weapon to balance blood sugar. When insulin stays stable, weight stays controlled. Grandma didn't know the science, but she knew the results. Number 17, distance from water during meals. Drinking water during a meal puts out the fire of digestion. This was Grandma's strict rule. She allowed water only 30 minutes before or an hour after eating. This let the stomach acids do their job fully, turning food into energy rather than fat. Number 16, the Epsom salt soak. Once a week, a scoop of that special salt went into the warm bath. It didn't just ease tired muscles, it pulled toxins through the pores that caused weight gain and inflammation. This was their own household detox that cost only a few cents. Number 15, the brass mortar and the aroma of fresh spices. In a 1950s kitchen, you wouldn't find packets of pre-ground powders. Grandma would manually grind black pepper, ginger, and turmeric with her own hands. This wasn't just meal prep, it was the physical labor that kept her metabolism sharp. She believed that if a spice lost its scent, it lost its healing power. The essential oils in these freshly crushed spices slightly raised the body's internal temperature, naturally accelerating the fat-burning process. These small, daily chores eliminated the need for a gym in her era. Number 14, that final splash of cold water. Today, we are used to lukewarm showers, but American mothers in the 1960s followed a specific ritual. At the end of a bath, they would pour one last mug of cold water over their shoulders and back. Grandma believed this forced the body to wake up. Modern science now tells us that sudden cold water activates brown fat, which burns stored white fat to generate heat. That 1-minute chill was more effective than any expensive spa treatment, keeping her metabolism alert all day. Number 13, distance from white poison and the sweetness of honey. In her kitchen, white sugar was replaced by honey or molasses, and even then, used sparingly. Grandma knew that nature hid its sweetness in fruit. She often satisfied a sweet craving in the evening with just a single date. Or a slice of an apple. Today, we eat chemicals labeled sugar-free, while she maintained her insulin levels by never disrupting nature's balance. When blood sugar is stable, the body learns to use fat for fuel instead of storing it. Her beauty secret wasn't in advertisements, it was in her self-control. Number 12, the silent alarm of the fitted waistline. Clothing in the 1950s wasn't like today's loose-fitting garments. Their dresses were fitted precisely at the waist, serving as a natural measuring tape. Grandma used to say that if a skirt button felt tight, it was a sign to be cautious in the kitchen. This was a psychological cue that never let them cross the line. We've learned to hide our growing weight in baggy clothes, but they used their wardrobe to stay in tune with their bodies. She trusted the feel of her clothes more than her reflection in the mirror. Number 11, clay pots and the magic of slow heat. Cooking food on high heat to finish quickly was considered a flaw in her time. Food simmered for hours in clay or cast iron pots retained all its nourishment. Grandma believed that the slower a meal cooked, the lighter it felt on the stomach. When food is fully tenderized and its fibers broken down, the body doesn't have to work as hard to digest it. This not only provides more nutrients but also reduces the risk of weight gain. We traded our health for fast food, while she lived well by cooking slow. Number 10, the total silence of the dark. Their bedrooms weren't filled with the electric lights of today's world. Grandma was a strict believer in sleeping in complete darkness. The dark repairs the body, she often said. Modern research confirms that in total darkness, the body produces melatonin, which not only brings deep sleep but also activates weight loss hormones. We've risked our sleep and health under the blue light of smartphones, while she secured her vitality by simply blowing out the lamp. Number 9, the sharp tonic of ginger and lemon. Exactly 1 hour after lunch, the kitchen would fill with the scent of ginger. Grandma would pour a small cup of hot water mixed with a piece of ginger and a few drops of lemon for everyone. This was her digestive elixir. The ginger settled the stomach walls while the lemon worked to cut through the fat. This simple tea was the detox drink for which people now spend hundreds of dollars. This one cup kept countless families safe from digestive ailments and weight gain. Number 8, gardening as a form of worship. Outside of the kitchen, Grandma spent most of her time in her small garden. Digging the soil, watering the plants, and leaning down to trim the grass was the workout she did joyfully. This touch with the earth not only kept her stress low but also strengthened her muscles. When you are mentally calm, your body doesn't produce cortisol, the hormone responsible for belly fat. Her garden didn't just grow flowers, it grew her health. Number 7. Herbal infusions instead of milky tea. Tea for her wasn't just a source of caffeine, she drank it like medicine. Water infused with peppermint, fennel, or cardamom was a part of her daily routine. Grandma said that milk and sugar slowed down digestion, so she preferred the clarity of herbal water. These drinks kept the body clean from the inside and fulfilled hydration needs. These were the simple habits that maintained that natural glow on their faces and the agility in their bodies that is so rare today. Number 6. The shared evening stroll. After dinner, as the birds returned to their nests, Grandma and Grandpa would head out to the back trail for a walk. This 15-minute stroll was mandatory. They called it the digestion walk. This light movement kept blood sugar levels balanced and turned the meal into muscle energy instead of fat. It was a time when they not only cared for their health but also shed the day's stress by talking to one another. Number 5. That special Epsom salt and the internal cleanse. In an average American bathroom in 1955, a box of Epsom salt was always tucked away behind the mirror. For Grandma, it wasn't just for relieving fatigue, it was her weekly, internal bath. She used to say that when the body feels heavy, it needs salt water. Modern science now confirms that these salts, rich in magnesium sulfate, pull toxins through the skin that cause weight gain and inflammation. Those 20 minutes she spent in that warm tub would reset her body's systems. We abandoned this cheap and natural cleanse for expensive detox teas, while the solution was always in that simple box. Number 4. Cornbread and the power of natural fiber. On Grandma's table, there was no concept of white, processed bread. She used hand-ground corn or barley. She believed that grain that made your teeth work was the grain that gave your stomach peace. The natural fiber in these grains not only kept the stomach full for longer but also acted as a broom for the intestines. When your digestion stays clean, fat finds no place to hide. These mothers of the 1960s never bought fiber supplements because every loaf of their bread was overflowing with nature's gift. By choosing simplicity, they gained the vitality we are now searching for in piles of processed food. Number 3. The magical hiccup spoon and apple cider vinegar. Whenever anyone in the house felt a random hunger pang or sluggish digestion, Grandma would pull out that brown bottle of raw apple cider vinegar. She called it the kitchen doctor. Drinking a spoonful of vinegar mixed in water 20 minutes before a meal was her secret weapon to prevent blood sugar spikes. This sharp liquid doubled the body's ability to burn fat. Modern research has proven that acetic acid is a metabolism's best friend. Grandma didn't need scientific names, she just knew that brown bottle kept her family lean and strong. It was knowledge passed from mother to daughter, without the need for a book. Number 2. The silent pause before eating. This is the habit Grandma valued above all else. After the food was placed on the table, she wouldn't start immediately. She would sit in silence for a few moments, give thanks, and prepare her mind for the meal. She said, if your mind isn't with the food, your stomach will never be full. When we eat in stress or a rush, the body produces cortisol, which turns every bite into fat. But her few moments of peace brought the body into digestive mode. It was a spiritual and physical balance that never allowed her to overeat, because her mind and stomach were perfectly connected. Number 1. Capability, not consumption. And now, the greatest secret that forms the foundation of all 25. The woman of the 1950s was not a consumer, she was capable. She didn't have a different bottle from the market for every problem, she had the wisdom to use one thing for 10 tasks. Her health remained intact because she hadn't handed her life over to machines and chemicals. She used her hands, she moved with the seasons, and she believed in her roots. We lost that capability by buying 30 different products. The number 1 secret isn't a medicine or a trick, it's the realization that health is in your own hands, not on a supermarket shelf. That brass scale is likely gathering dust in an old storeroom somewhere, and those brown bottles have probably vanished from our cabinets. In the name of progress, we bought convenience, but we paid for it with our health and our energy. That mother of the 1950s wasn't poor, she was equipped. She possessed a wisdom that cannot be found in any modern laboratory. Today's journey wasn't just about losing weight, it was about reclaiming the lost self-confidence that was once in our roots. If you make just 5 of these 25 secrets a part of your life, you will see your body naturally return to the balance it was designed for. If you remember an old secret from your own grandmother that changed your life, please share it in the comments so this precious wisdom doesn't fade away. Thank you for staying with Forgotten American Health and Beauty. Protect your roots, for that is where your true healing is hidden. Until the next video, goodbye.